Hello everyone. My name is Georgios Papaioannou. I am an assistant professor at the U Delft in the Netherlands and one of these organizers of this workshop. I would like to welcome you in our workshop, and I hope that we will have a nice experience and build collaborations and nice ideas on the topic. I decided my presentation today to be around my research agenda, a few of my future steps, and at the same time, the works that I have conducted so far in my career. As an assistant professor at TU Delft, I belong on the group of motion comfort in automated driving, led by Professor Rinder Happen. In our group consists of different faculty members, postdocs, and PhDs that work on the topic of motion comfort from different perspectives. But the main question that arises for all of us is why motion comfort is so important. And this is the motivation why we conduct this research and why we have built this workshop. Motion comfort is the ability to engage in other activities while being driven is one of the main enablers for the automated vehicle technology. At the same time, all the characteristics of all the envisaged AVs designs, like the handling over the vehicle control, the sitting backwards, the blocked view, and the eyes of the road, are expected to provoke motion sickness and discomfort to the occupants. And this makes motion comfort one of the main inhibitors of AV's technology, together with the safety, the cybersecurity, and other factors. So, it is not only crucial to enhance it, where my research has been focusing so far, but at the same time unravel it, model it, and predict it in order to secure the AV's potential for safety and environmental and accessibility impact. So, let's see what I have been doing so far on these two directions and what I plan to do at the same time. Regarding the second part, the unraveling and modeling and predicting motion comfort, this motion sickness we all know that is affected by a multitude of factors. Griffin managed to build a conceptual model regarding the modulating factors of motion sickness, as you can see, and you can see it in this slide. According to the motion sickness according to this map, the motion sickness symptoms are affected by the sensory conflicts in the visual, vestibular, and the somatosensory system, and these conflicts are affected by the excitations, meaning the motion and the environment that this motion takes place, and also the situational and the dispositional susceptibility of the occupant. However, unfortunately, the existing models that we have in the literature fail to capture all these essential factors. We have models that consider mainly the vestibular system, and there are few efforts which are invalidated that focus also on the visual conflicts as well. At the same time, we have models that don't consider anything about the posture stability and the human posture in general, and at the same time, they are not individualized, meaning that they are focused on the group rather than the individual. So there is the need to reconsider the current models and design more accurate ones in order for us to be able to build successfully comfortable automated vehicles. So, in this direction, one of the works that I have conducted in the past focused on two things. First, to fit the human body models into the perception models for assessing motion comfort more accurately. And secondly, to investigate using simulations how the translational and rotational accelerations changed compared to the motion sickness incident. And we wanted to investigate this relation with different chassis design, different seating conditions, and also different road profiles. So, in order to do that, we built a six-dimensional human body models based on experimental data that was transferring the seat, vertical, yaw, longitudinal, lateral, roll, and pitch accelerations to the occupant's head. And this was also, in some cases, we were also considering the effect of the seat accelerations to the translational accelerations also. For example, when we were calculating the transmissibility of the seat pitch acceleration to the head, we were also calculating the effect of the seat pitch acceleration to the longitudinal acceleration. So, after having built this human body model, we used the inputs of the human body model as inputs to the perception model in order to assess motion sickness. And in this paper, we used the 6 degree of freedom subjective vertical conflict model built by Kamidzi and Wada. And then using this model, we assessed the optimal passive suspensions regarding motion sickness mitigation, and we extracted some important conclusions. One of these was that the seat-to-head transmissibility is a crucial part of assessing motion comfort, that head rotation matters when it comes to suspension design, different road profiles and seating conditions didn't affect the importance of head rotation, and that the isometric couldn't accommodate motion sickness reduction in suspension design, and we need to include pitch rotations as well in the optimization systems. So, regarding my research, second part of my research vision, as I said, and the enhancement of motion comfort, having exploiting the knowledge of new motion sickness models and new conclusions regarding its impact, its relation with vehicle dynamics, I will investigate new motion planning algorithms, chassis design, and seat designs and interior configurations. This is something I have been already doing in my research so far, with important collaborations with different universities and industrial partners. So, regarding the first part, the motion planning, as a postdoc at Cranfield University, I was supervising a PhD student, and we published one paper about the fundamentals of motion planning for mitigating motion sickness from the optimal control perspective. Based on this work at KTH, my previous affiliation, together with an industrial PhD from Volvo, we extended this work by incorporating in the control modules the 3D human body model that I mentioned before. At the same time, using this model, we built different torque vectors. We investigated how different torque vector configurations affect motion comfort, how the different road surfaces affected, and also how the head motion in the loop improves or not the performance. This project is a master project, as I said, and it's going to be finalized soon, and hopefully results will be published. The next part of my research was about novel seat designs. The EVs are going to experience a complete interior redesign because we want the interior to be transformed closer to a living room or an office in order to accommodate the engagement in non-driving activities and increase the occupant's productivity. And this will allow us the inclusion of seats which employ active suspensions in order to further improve motion comfort. In this direction, I built the last year 2 seat suspensions, one focusing on the vertical isolations, and it's called active K-seat, and another one an integrated active suspension that is isolating at the same time both the vertical and the longitudinal vibrations, leading to much more motion comfort. The conclusion that we extract from this literature is that the active K-seat, the first one that is focusing on the vertical isolation, can significantly improve motion comfort, decreasing the shaking frequencies also, and at the same time, and this model was the main advantage of this model was and is its ability to isolate the low frequency vibrations that are of interest for motion sickness. And secondly, the multi-degree of freedom seats illustrated a great potential in decreasing motion sickness, which is very promising, and this I plan to focus further in order to see the ability of such type of suspensions in motion sickness mitigation. And finally, one of the projects that we are ongoing, supported by the STEAM, the Swedish Foundation for International Cooperation in Research and Higher Education, is a collaboration with NIST University as well. We try to build braking pitch control algorithms that include also the head motion, the head pitch as within the control modules. And the goal of these pitch control algorithms is to decrease the head pitch. And at the same time, we consider it we consider two alternatives, either to flat brake, either for the vehicles to flat brake or the vehicles to slightly increase their pitch counterclockwise. And the results so far are promising, but this project, as I said, is in collaboration with, initiated at my previous affiliation at KTH in collaboration with an industrial PhD from Volvo. And we hopefully will have the final result soon to publish them. So thank you all for watching my presentation and being part of our workshop. I'm looking forward to further discussions, questions about my presentation, and yeah, let's have a nice workshop.